entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey now, Walking Dead Nation, Matt Heywood here from entertainmentbuddha.com to review Telltale's latest season of its The Walking Dead series, which opened with a double helping of new episodes this week, and they don't disappoint. Before we sink our zombie teeth into it, I must warn you about potential spoilers for the series and light spoilers for the first two episodes of The Walking Dead New Frontier. Ready? Here we go! The Walking Dead New Frontier is more or less a continuation of the first two seasons of Telltale's The Walking Dead series, but you're exposed to a whole new faction of survivors. With that being said, Clementine's presence is definitely felt and she does factor into the game's narrative, so you're not left with brand new people to only care about. New Frontier definitely builds upon the characters and world set forth in the first two The Walking Dead games from Telltale, so it's a worthy and interesting take on carrying the encompassing narrative forward. You now play as Javier, who is more or less a Hispanic Pete Rose trying to survive with the remnants of his family. The first episode opens with a flashback to establish Javier and the new characters, but it quickly transitions into the zombie outbreak and Javier and his family scrambling to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. These moments provide some great dialogue about the struggles of living in such a world while also establishing the new characters and giving them meaning by setting up the bonds between them. This is important because later on in the episode, the first tragic and horrific death occurs, so without this buildup of the new cast, this moment would have felt hollow. While the new cast is definitely entertaining and competent at weaving their own emotional threads in Telltale's The Walking Dead universe, Clementine still manages to steal the show and capture most of your focus. She's a bit older now, as well as a bit more hardened to the horrors of the world she lives in, and her time with her previous friends has set her up well for survival. One must feel for her though, because at 13 she's seen more atrocities than any human will see in a lifetime, and it has affected her greatly and left her somewhat with a cold heart. I did appreciate this take on her and feel that it was appropriate based on what she went through prior to this new season of the game. She also provides you, the player, with more than a few gut-wrenching decisions that can greatly impact your adventure, as well as how those characters around you act towards you. The first part of this dual episode mostly sets the stage for the following episodes, so it's not too lengthy, but it is full of plot development. A new faction is introduced called the New Frontier, which looks to be like a saviors type of group that will play a major role in this season. They definitely provide you with some very tough choices that will lead to certain characters dying over others, so they play key roles in crafting your own unique flow through the narrative. This group and its place in the world are further explored in the second episode, which sees Javier, Clem, and their posse making their way to a settlement in Virginia. In this episode, though, we get the first appearance of an established character from the comics and show thanks to Jesus crossing paths with Javier and Clem. His inclusion is a nice touch and helps to tie the entire The Walking Dead universe together, while also giving him a few new adventures for fans of his to follow. There really isn't much to complain about from the two-part premiere of The Walking Dead New Frontier. Episode length can be called into question as both parts can be completed in less than 3 hours, but outside of that, this new Telltale adventure doesn't disappoint. It even performs better technically than most Telltale games, as I didn't see any frame rate skips or wonky character animations. If you enjoyed Telltale's first two seasons of its The Walking Dead video game series, you must pick up New Frontier. The same level of emotional storytelling is in place, but thanks to the introduction of new characters, it's able to screw with your emotions all over again while also staying true to the returning characters and their threads we have already experienced. It easily earns a juicy 90 out of 100 review score and can be highly recommended to play. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to keep your browsers tuned to entertainmentbuddha.com on a daily basis, because it will make you a better geek, one post at a time.